My dad's new wife seemed perfect until I found out what she did to practice being a mom. When Dad introduced us to Rachel 2 years after the divorce, she seemed like a dream come true. She brought homemade cookies to every soccer game, organized elaborate birthday parties, and even started a scrapbook called Our Family Journey. Dad was over the moon. At first, I thought it was sweet how hard she tried. She'd wake up at 4 a.m. to iron my school uniforms and leave post-it notes with motivational quotes on my mirror. She memorized all my friends' names and allergies. The PTA moms called her Supermom, and Dad would glow with pride. But things got weird when she started insisting I call her Mom in public. When I slipped and said Rachel at the grocery store, she locked herself in the car crying for 20 minutes. She enrolled us in mother-daughter yoga, pottery classes, and even matching tattoo consultations. Dad shut that down. Then came Family History Month. Rachel created an entire fake timeline where she'd been there for my first day of kindergarten, taught me to swim, nursed me through chickenpox. She made me practice these stories before visiting Dad's parents. Remember when Mommy made you soup when you were sick? She'd prompt. I played along to keep the peace. The breaking point started when I went to stay with my bio mom for spring break. I came back to find Rachel had dyed and cut her hair exactly like my mom's, started wearing her signature perfume, and even bought the same car model Mom drove. But that wasn't the worst part. She'd turned our basement into what she called her motherhood studio. The walls were covered with photos of me at every age, with sticky notes analyzing my facial expressions. Disappointment here, practice comfort response, and real smile, replicate this moment. She had audio recordings of me saying I love you to my mom that she'd play on loop while practicing her responses. I found VHS tapes labeled training sessions from our neighbor's security camera. Rachel had been babysitting for 3 different families on our street, telling each parent the others were references. On the tapes, she had these little girls, Emma, 7, Mia, 6, and Sophie, 8, sitting in our kitchen doing practice dinners. She'd make them role play as me at different ages. Okay, Emma, your 7-year-old daughter, tell mommy about your day. If they called her Miss Rachel, she'd go silent, turn off all the lights, and make them sit in darkness until they called her mommy. She called it correction time. The most disturbing tape showed her teaching them the bedtime ritual. They had to kiss her forehead, say I love you mommy 3 times, and let her tuck them in on a mattress she'd put in my room. She'd rate their performance. Mia, 7 out of 10, needs more eye contact. Sophie, 9 out of 10, perfect daughter potential. But here's where it gets truly insane. She'd installed locks on our basement door from the inside. I found a receipt for a week's worth of grocery delivery to the basement door. She'd been planning to move down there with her perfect practice daughter, while Dad and I lived upstairs, creating her own secret family beneath us. When I confronted her with Dad, she didn't deny anything. She pulled out a binder labeled Maternal Optimization Project, with graphs tracking each girl's daughter score, their favorite foods, their fears, their weak points. Sophie's almost ready, she said calmly. She got a 98% on yesterday's assessment. She just needs to work on her morning hug authenticity. Dad called the police immediately. When they arrived, Rachel was eerily calm. I kept all the receipts, she said. I returned them to their parents each time. No laws broken. I'm just a dedicated babysitter working on her maternal skills. She was right. Technically, she hadn't kidnapped anyone. The parents thought she was amazing. Their kids came home well fed, homework done, talking about fun games with Miss Rachel. The psychological manipulation wasn't illegal. The basement setup was home renovation. Even the recordings were legal childcare documentation. The police left with a warning about inappropriate babysitting methods. Dad filed for divorce that night. The other parents just thought we were overreacting. After all, their kids seemed fine, and Rachel was so affordable and available. Rachel moved into an apartment complex 2 blocks away. Within a week, she was the building's go-to babysitter. She posts in our neighborhood Facebook group offering premium mothering experiences and daughter bonding sessions. Parents think it's quirky marketing. Last week, Sophie's mom posted, Sophie insists on visiting Miss Rachel every day after school. She says it's their special tradition and gets hysterical if we say no. So grateful for the bond they've formed. I need to find a way to stop her. Full story on channel linked below.